I thought obviously it was a hard-played game. Anytime you play somebody that wins their league and wins their tournament and is on a 14-game winning streak, you know they're going to have a high competitive spirit. So I thought, High Point really played hard. I thought we did a good job defensively. I thought our guys really gave a great effort on the defensive end, but I thought the game was won just in the possession battles. We had just so many more possessions than they did. Our guys were great on the glass. We've been inconsistent this year in rebounding. We'll kind of come in and out of it. Like we'll have a game where it's pretty good, then the next game it's not. You kind of look at it from a personnel standpoint sometimes, but I thought our ability to rebound and have 19 offensive rebounds probably ends up being the difference. We liked the shots that we were getting. Didn't make as many as we'd like to make, but you're going to have games like that. But I liked our effort. I thought we got a great production from our bench. I thought everybody that came in off of our bench, gave us something and helped us win the game. Jakari Harris didn't play a lot in the first half, and then he finishes the game for us, and he gets 8 rebounds. Cam Heide gets a double-double. Wilberg ends the first half for us with a basket, has another basket in that first half, and did some good things defensively. And then Miles Colvin, I thought, was solid. He had a couple good looks, not go down that normally do. But I thought our bench really helped those guys out. And that's what you got to have. And we got some young guys that haven't been there. We got some guys that have played a lot of games. And I was just impressed with our effort and our ability to hit the glass.
Thank you for that, Coach. Let's have now questions for Trey and Braden, please. We'll take right here in the middle.
Dustin Schutte, Sports Illustrated Purdue. Trey and Braden, they had cut into your lead 59-56. Trey, you hit a big shot with the shot clock expiring. Braden, the next possession, you get a layup. Did you feel like the momentum shift back in your favor after those 2 possessions?
Yeah, I think, that was an incredible shot, and we were lucky that went down. I looked at him funny, too, but it was awesome. But I just think, they're a great team, and they were here for a reason, and they showed why. And the game was so back and forth the entire time. And I think me and Trey and all these other guys that have been through it, we understand kind of like how to keep our composure and just stay with the game. Like it's going to be ups and downs. Just make the next play and keep going. And I think we just made some good plays down the stretch.
Thanks, Braden. Take one here in front.
Trey, Manuel Leonard, CBS Sports. Getting a team outside the Big Ten, different style, everything, from prep to execution, did it feel like another game to you, or did you feel like, this is a little bit of a different flavor over what we've been going up against for the past two and a half months?
I actually don't think it was that different. They still ran a lot of ball screens. We've been dealing with a lot more ball screens lately. When you look at USC, and so no, I don't think it was that different. They're a super physical team. They play really hard. And that's why they won their conference. So, yeah.
Take one here front right. Thank you.
More questions for Braden. Robbie Listella, bracketshere.org. He mentioned the rebounding and the defense. When you dominate a team physically like that, does it give you any momentum heading into the round of 32 and beyond?
It just gives us more opportunities. Like you said, if we're out rebounding them by however much we did, it just gives us extra possessions. Like the offensive rebounds to kick out threes. And, we had one possession really early where we had like 4 or 5 shots. And then none of them went, but just getting those extra possessions, I think is big time for us. And then limiting turnovers at all and winning that turnover battle, that's huge as well.
Thanks, Braden. Right here with John in the middle.
John Fanza from Fox Sports. I have one quick one for Trey and then one for Braden. How often do you work on that fadeaway shot that you made look very easy there in the second half?
All the time. It's the first thing I do when I step on the floor and warm up. So I'm glad my hard work's paying off.
Braden, you were nodding as Coach said. Great answer, Trey. You were nodding as Coach said. The bench, the complementary pieces, stepping up. As you two are the leaders of this team with Fletcher, how encouraging is it to start this tournament getting that type of performance from the others?
Yeah, no, it's big time. There are a lot of young guys on our team, and it's their dream to be here. So I think they did a great job coming in and doing their job and sticking with that. And I think you can't ask anything more. They rebounded their butts off. They made shots when they needed to, and they did their job. So, we're obviously very happy for that, and it's huge for us in our program.
We'll take one more here for our student athletes right here to the right.
Trey, you guys, Tom Bruce, Sports Illustrated, Purdue, you guys rebounded him by the 21. You had the 19 offensive rebounds and such, but 10 from Cam, 8 from Miles. It's like, how much does it just help the total team effort of rebounding for you guys?
I mean, like Coach Payne said, it's the difference in the game. Like that's what won us the game today. And I think, although we haven't been perfect, I think we've done a better job lately on rebounding. We put more of an emphasis on it, from a player standpoint, and we got to keep that up. We got to keep it up if we want to keep winning.
Thank you, fellas. You guys can head back to the locker room. Thanks for your time. Questions for Coach Painter? Right here in front.
This is their dream, and I think we played hard, and I think we good at playing.
Hey, Matt. I got a two-part question. One, be it you as a coach in person, like playing in the tournament this early, like one, is that what you prefer, players just ready to go as opposed to if you had the late game? And then two, this felt like one of your more connected defensive performances over the past 2 months. If that's not the case, feel free to correct me, but I'm just kind of curious on that end too.
No, it's definitely better to play early. If you have that late game, it's torture. Yeah, for everybody. Like if you haven't been through it, I think it'd be hard to understand that statement. But if you ask any coach, just sitting there all day, especially if you're somebody who goes to bed early and you wake up early, right, and you got like a 10-10 start, it's the damnedest thing in the world. Because you've just done everything in your power to lead up to this. You start in June, and now you get here, and you just kind of sit there all day. So we love the early games. I love the early games, period. With that, what was the second part of the question?
Just your defensive connectivity.
Yeah.
I don't know if this was really as good as maybe you've had in the past couple of months.
Yeah, it was better containing the dribble. I think that's where we were better tonight. When you talk with Jiffa and you talk Bobby Pettiford and their ability to break you down, and then we wanted to be in gaps and be able to help them. But then they have great shooters in Benham and Johnston and the kid from Texas Tech, Mario Williams. And so now they get you in a bind if they're making good decisions, and then they come to jump stops. Then they cut off of that. And then now Benham's a leg kicker. And so now you can't get close. You got to stop. So you don't have any contact right there. So it makes it a very difficult guard. But yeah, I thought that stood out for us. Obviously, we rebounded well, but our ability to guard the basketball was much better. We've been inconsistent in that area this year.
Probably have time for one or two more for Coach if they're out there. Right here in the middle.
Coach Eric Rue with the Providence Journal. In that moment in the second half when the lead had slipped to 3, do you have to say anything to Braden and Trey about, hey, we need you guys to make a play, or do you just have faith with their experience? They know it's kind of time for them to step up.
We talk more in terms of the execution of what we're running or what we're trying to stop. Just keep your poise and stay with it. Braden gets worked up when people foul him and they don't call it. So just stay with it. Just win the game, right? You get into practice at some point, nothing else matters besides winning that competition and winning that drill. The game's no different. No matter what happens, just execute, do your job. And so they understand that. You get into trouble when you don't move to the next play. We all do. You get caught up into it. And no matter what you feel, the crowd gets into it or it gets to be a close game, you can still do your job. You can feel however the hell you want to feel. You can be depressed, you can be sad, you can be anxious. If you're supposed to set a low ball screen, just set the low ball screen. Just do your job. Anxious, sad, however the hell you feel, who cares? Do your job. And that's where people lose their rules. You have rules to what you're doing defensively, and then you have things that you have to do to execute in what you run. Continue to do your job and just play hard. And don't worry about anything else, because once you get into all that, you're done. You're cooked. And I think that experience that we have, we're able to move to the next play, and it helps when he hits a turnaround fadeaway, right? That part helps too.
Thanks, Coach. Time for one more to the right here. We'll close out.
Matt, Tom Bruce, Sports Illustrated, Purdue. With this NCAA format of Thursday, Saturday, again quickly, and kind of a quick turnaround compared to what you're used to during the course of a season, how much of a benefit do these guys, having played so many tournament games and been through that last year, help kind of quickly flip the switch now to whatever happens Saturday?
Yeah. Well, I think it helps both ways, right? Because we've had some tough breaks, and we've gotten beaten and had to go home and sit in it, for a long time to get to the next year's tournament. And that's no fun, but that's part of this tournament, right? It's not the best out of 3, it's not the best out of 5. We have felt pretty good in some games about getting to that, maybe outside of a couple people. And but the experiences that they've had and really helping out our younger guys and making sure they understand about how the tournament is and how it's different. So they get to feel that. A lot of times you'll get to feel it and you don't move on, right? But now when you're able to move on from one game, you hope to use those experiences in the past. But for our guys that have never played in one of these games, I think this is really good to help them get to that next game and feel comfortable.